So just recently, I actually purchased $1,000. I invested in the cryptocurrency space and various different entry points. I've actually accumulated very similar to the list that we're going to be going over right here. And of course, before we get started, obviously this video is my personal choices. In no way am I intending to influence anybody else's choices. So obviously, you guys need to do your own research. Now this video is just what I'm doing, and it's completely exclusive from, obviously I'm not giving any advice, I'm not your dad. But without any further ado, now the first choice that I actually did was I bought an entire Ethereum, which was around 150 at the time. So it was essentially $150 in Ethereum. And then number two, basically I put $150 in Cardano, which had me up to about $300 right there. And I think that Ethereum and Cardano, as far as my perspective goes, are pretty safe bets. The way that I saw things going, with Cardano at its current price, then to me it just makes perfect sense. And Ethereum has a really good track record. I know a lot of people are pointing out the fact that the Ethereum is in a pretty sought after position, which it does sort of, but I don't think that it's any challenge to the current price. I see these different evaluations here is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. And so number three, I actually put another $200, which was into XRP. And I could have basically made this video and said, oh, well, I put $1,000 into XRP, and I think that would have been just as good a chance as any. And I'm actually planning on probably at some point making an even bigger buy-in for XRP. But right now, since I was pretty much just trying to accumulate across the board a diversified portfolio to add to my savings, in a cryptocurrency long-term investment perspective, I see XRP. In this year alone, I think we could be expecting to see some really incredible things from XRP, especially with the different movements that we've been seeing happening. Realistically, every single day we've been seeing the banks and all these different institutional, realistically the spinal cord of the financial system and getting its hooks interested in this area. I think XRP Ripple is definitely one of those interesting technologies that's making headway in the beginning of 2019 in particular. But what we can expect to see from this point onward, I think it's going to even get more exciting. And of course, retail giant Amazon can benefit from Ripple XRP. I mean, I see different headlines like these, and for anybody who's done their research, I think XRP does definitely speak for itself. And that's basically that, $500. And I think XRP pretty much speaks for itself to a large extent too. I'm very excited about this, holdings of XRP that I've recently accumulated. Planning on sitting on a lot of these for probably long-term, 2 years. I'm pretty much thinking about what things are going to be looking like, in that amount of time. And then of course, I put various different. I mean, those were the biggest purchases, I would have to say. And then of course I put like $50 into Omiza Go, and then of course about $50 into Basic Attention Token. Personally, in my opinion, I think it's important to have a diversified portfolio, just because you never know when you do your research into these things. A lot of the different altcoins get your attention, and when you do that, you always have to realize certain times you can get let down, and certain times things can go well. So of course, again, remember, always do your research when getting involved with any sort of investing. Don't just take some random YouTube video and run with it. But of course, I think I'm pretty supported in my decision making. Pretty confident that I've made some interesting investments today, at least for the long term. I mean, I suppose only time will tell. People can come back in 2 years, watch this video, and either give me crap or talk about how this was an interesting thing. But so moving right along, 0x, I got $50 as well. I put about 75 into Digibyte. I really can't say enough good things about Digibyte. I'm definitely excited to see the different movements that are going to be made. And realistically, it's any cryptocurrency with a solid blockchain that I look for. The fact that Digibyte is so spread around the world definitely does give it a significant amount of leverage. And the fact that Digibyte's got a good team working behind it is also important to me. So definitely Digibyte was an important choice for me in accumulation. Now, as far as these things go, the different founders who I really look up to is like people like Justin Sun or the founder of Cardano. Now, these are the sort of visionaries I believe who are going to be moving forward the cryptocurrency space. And I think that Digibyte's focus on the various elements of the space that they can really dominate, and I think this it says it all right here. I mean, I think Digibyte's well on its way to have a good future for it, so I'm excited to see. And across various other altcoins, I was putting just a certain amounts accumulating here or there, but just for a simple list, Zcash, I believe, pretty much was a $50 investment for me, and at the same time, I was trying to accumulate some of these different altcoins that appeared to Apollo as well, about $100 into Apollo, and I just think that this was a perfect time for me. I mean, it's obviously different for everybody, but I mean, with all the things that are all the different movements that we're seeing happening in the cryptocurrency space, and since it's the beginning of the year, I just saw it as an interesting opportunity to accumulate. And of course, EOS, I put about $100 into EOS as well. And I did put about $75 into Tron, just because, and of course, I mean, I think Neo, I've been contemplating picking up some more Neo as well. And I mean, aside from general opinion, I do actually hold some Dogecoin. I haven't accumulated any recently because I got it when it was very cheap. But yeah, I personally see it as a I mean, now is as good as the time as any for me. Now I do this pretty much every quarter. I'll just accumulate a couple $1,000 worth of cryptos that I'm just going to hold on to, ones that I basically set aside and don't really get involved with the trading. It's just something that I want to sit on long term and see how these things turn out. But yeah, so just a quick video out there for you guys. Obviously this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only, just telling you what I'm doing. Obviously this is in no way meant to encourage or discourage or even influence anybody else's opinions out there. And then of course I also have to add in Golem. I'm very interested, waiting for an entry point on Golem. I think is going to be what they're doing with the computing power. It just makes sense. And yeah, so that's my list. And then of course I would have thought of accumulating some more Bitcoin, but I already have enough Bitcoin from back in the day. Now even 3,000 seems pretty pricey. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go down, as a matter of fact, before I even consider picking up some. And Litecoin, I didn't get any this time, but I have been known to be a fan of accumulating some Litecoin, especially at $35. To me, definitely seems like a pretty interesting entry point. I have some Stellar as well, but not this particular time. So yeah, just to recap on the list, it was Ethereum, XRP, the EOS is definitely interesting. I don't know if I included it on the list, but I'm just putting that out there. Cardano certainly has my attention, and I'm proud to be a long-term holder of Cardano. Of course, Digibyte and Basic Attention Token, and I think that this is a pretty solid list. Now, as far as this particular accumulation of cryptocurrency goes, and now, of course, you guys remember, this video is just my personal opinion and what I'm doing. And all that being said, I hope you guys subscribe if you watched all the way to the end of the video. I did not accumulate any IOTA. Of course, I do have some, but still not this time. And yeah, I mean, that's generally what we're looking at for this update. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, the Twitter handle is always open. That's at CryptoTuber. And yeah, I hope you guys good luck in 2019. I think I've given a pretty solid perspective on my stance, and realistically I'm pretty confident in anything in the top 100, but then again, I'm always encouraging you guys to do your own research, come to your own conclusions. Don't let other people, don't let YouTubers influence you. But all that being said, you guys stay relevant. Have a good one.